I don't normally sell Halloween decorations, but you can, so feel free to copy any of these 3 products I've got for you today. Welcome back, people. Let's cut to the chase. Today I've got 3 Halloween projects that I hope I've actually come up with myself. Pinterest was definitely involved in the inspiration, but I haven't seen these exact ideas on YouTube yet. I'm sure that will change very shortly after this video goes live. So let's enjoy my originality while it lasts. 2 out of 3 projects today are made from the same bed slats I used in the last video, just in a completely different way. So basically, I'm recycling my recycling. We're going to have plenty of glue ups because 1 layer of wood clearly wasn't enough. Most of the projects will also get burnt or stained, and we are throwing some LED lights into the mix. And yes, I do have that absolute beast of a machine called a laser, and I'll use it today, just not enough to let it do all the fun stuff. For most of the work, I'm going old school, cutting templates, gluing things together, and generally making life harder than it needs to be. So get ready for some cutting, some cursing, and a few moments where I'll question why I didn't just use the laser for everything. And while we're sharing, if you notice my disgusting dirty fingernails, I'm sorry, you can blame my car. Somehow everything we owned has decided to fall apart a few weeks before the move, because clearly moving house wasn't stressful enough. Apparently, the car wanted to join the project too. Now let's get back to project number 1. With some brad nails and a tiny amount of common sense, this shouldn't take you more than an hour. I'm calling this one the Introvert's Halloween Candy Machine. And if you're anything like me, the idea of screaming overly excited children knocking on your door every 5 minutes sounds absolutely delightful in someone else's house. But having nothing for them creates another problem. You might end up with eggs on your windows. And honestly, cleaning eggs off my house wasn't on my Halloween schedule. So I've came up with the perfect solution. Give them candy without having to actually interact with them. It's basically customer service without the customers. So far, I don't think I need to explain much about this build. It's ridiculously simple, so please don't ask me for dimensions in the comments. Build it however you want based on what you're seeing here. It doesn't even have to be perfectly square. Let's be honest, the kids aren't exactly arriving with measuring tapes and a woodworking certificate. They'll be far too busy looking for candy. The only group you definitely want to impress, however, is the parents. So make sure you sand all the edges properly, remove any sharp bits, and check that none of the brad nails are sticking out. Because the whole point is to keep the children away from your front door, not send their parents straight back to it with a lawyer. Now we're getting to the part where some of you might actually learn something useful. I spent way too long trying to figure out how to transfer the design onto the project without turning the whole thing into a glue-covered disaster. And then, the blue tape magic trick is back. It's simple, cheap, and most importantly, it means I don't have to glue paper directly onto my beautiful piece of wood like a maniac. Would I use wider tape next time? Absolutely. Did I have it? Of course not. So we're working with what we've got, and you're going to have to cope. And here's a little bit of advice. If you own a laser, use the bloody thing. This part takes forever. And yes, I know exactly what some of you would say. He's got a $1,000 machine and he's cutting this by hand. So I'm suffering through this specifically for you. You're welcome. Once the template is in place, just spray over it with some color and leave it to dry. And here is a little trick. If you're not happy with the contrast, grab a Sharpie and simply go over the details. No fancy equipment, no complicated process. Just spray, color in the bits that need help, and pretend it was the plan all along. Simple, cheap, and surprisingly effective. While this one dries, let's move on to the project number 2. After last week's project, I've realized something. I apparently really like hexagons, so naturally we're making another one. This one is different, but it still requires quite a few 30-degree miter cuts. And don't worry if your miters come out looking as wonky as mine. That's not a problem, that's a finishing opportunity. We'll burn the wood afterwards and use a little help from our propane dragon to disguise all the beautiful imperfections. Another trick from my partner in crime. At this point, I'm not fixing mistakes. I'm just making sure nobody can see them. Before reaching for the glue, I highly recommend doing a full dry fit. I've made enough mistakes throughout my woodworking YouTube journey to know one very important thing. It'll not fit perfectly the first time. And if it does, congratulations, you're officially better at this than me. Now, if you haven't watched my previous video, you might want to check it out, because I'm using a similar idea here and adding a frame around the inside of the hexagon. This frame will hide our LED strips and make the whole thing look considerably more professional. And trust me, you're going to want it to look professional, because getting this little bastard together can be surprisingly painful. Take your time and make sure those inner pieces have proper 30-degree miters. Don't just eyeball them. Don't ask why. Let's just say I've learned this particular lesson through extensive, completely unnecessary suffering. Finally, it's time to add a backing plate to this masterpiece. I'm using some leftover MDF and once again my most advanced precision instrument, a pencil. Yes, NASA called. They want their technology back. I'll trace the shape, cut it out on a bandsaw and make sure it sits neatly behind the frame without sticking out. Nothing complicated here, just a piece of MDF, a pencil and an unreasonable amount of confidence. I also want this one to be really dark, so I'm starting with a good old burn. Apparently, burning wasn't enough, so we'll give it a little help with some walnut stain. Because when setting wood on fire doesn't make it dark enough, the obvious next step is to add more chemicals. Perfectly reasonable. You'll understand why I need this thing so dark in just a minute. For now, let's just make it look like it has spent the night in a haunted forest. I've promised this before, so we're doing it. The hexagon frame is getting burned too. I mean, we're making a Halloween decoration. So it needs to look a little creepy, a little dramatic, and slightly questionable. Okay, time for another template. I've done my best to remove most of the unnecessary suffering from this one, but I've left the important bits. Since the face actually needs to look like a face, I'm using the printed template I cut out earlier as a stencil and transferring the details onto the blue tape. It's basically tracing, just with extra steps, more tape, and a much higher chance of me questioning my decision to start this project. The next steps are exactly the same as the previous build. Cover the whole thing with some color spray paint, let it dry and pretend we're being patient. And now we can finally move on to my favorite part, the LED installation. Because nothing says I made this from scrap wood quite like adding enough electronics to make it look suspiciously expensive. Let's light this thing up. You're probably wondering where it is. Well, it's sitting there waiting for the first one to dry so we can finally see if all of this actually worked. So naturally, instead of waiting like a normal person, let's start project number 3. This should be the simplest out of the lot. I don't own a compass and my 3D printed one has already decided to give up on life, so we're going back to the Stone Age. A piece of string, a screw and a pencil. That's it. It doesn't need to be perfectly precise. Wait, didn't I just said that about the last project? Clearly, accuracy is becoming less important as this video progresses. I don't think I need to explain what's happening on your screen right now, so let me talk to everyone who has joined this questionable community. I've set myself a goal of reaching 5,000 subscribers by the end of September, and once we get there, everything changes. I'm officially giving myself 6 months to find out if I can turn this little YouTube experiment into something much bigger. So basically, I'm voluntarily giving myself 6 months of stress, filming, editing, talking to myself in a workshop and pretending I know what I'm doing. Sounds healthy. If you like my weird sense of humor, hit that like button, drop a comment telling me which project is your favorite and consider subscribing. I'll keep bringing you original ideas, and I promise not to copy something from Pinterest that was uploaded 3 years ago, and at least I'll try to remember where I saw it first. It's become a bit of a tradition now, so I'll leave you with the rest of this build and some music. I'll be back with all 3 finished designs, and honestly, I'm really happy with how they turn out. Which is slightly concerning, because I usually have at least one complaint about my own work. I hope you liked today's projects and maybe you'll try one yourself. Remember, likes and comments are free and help this little madness grow. So hit that like button and let me know which one was your favorite. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider joining the chaos. Now go watch one of these videos next. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.